Good evening. I'm Doris Hall James from The Indie Show. I hope you enjoyed Marcy Francis' interview last evening. Marcy is truly amazing. This evening I bring to you the legendary Tony Jones. Tony Jones is known for his composing, producing, arranging, songwriting, and his TNT skills on the bass. Welcome, Tony. How are you?
How you doing, Doris? I'm doing fine.
I'm doing good too. Okay?
All right.
I'm glad you accept my invitation and you're here with us tonight.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
Okay, you want to bring
God
me
is
in
good.
with something? Let's bring me in with something. A little something.
Okay.
All right.
It's a little original song from my new CD.
Okay.
It's called Song from Angus.
Tony Jones, thank you.
All right
thank
now.
you.
All right
thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Sounds good. I was looking out
Trying to warm up a
those
little bit.
fingers. Yeah. Okay. And we have a special guest with us tonight on the left side. We have Mr. Norman Conyers. Hi, Connors. How are you? Good. Welcome.
Oh, I feel great.
And happy birthday. Belated birthday.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my birthday week.
Birthday week. What are you planning to do?
Well, people already took me to Warm Daddies and Patty Jackson.
Okay.
JS. They celebrated me there,
All right.
and a few of my friends came out, Alfie Pollard and a few other people that I used to play with before I moved to New York.
Okay.
And tomorrow I'm having a big party in New York,
All right.
and so I'm looking forward to that. And that's why I'm hanging out with Tony Jones.
Okay.
He's gonna be performing.
And I'm gonna post that on my page.
He's gonna be performing tomorrow with me, and we're gonna play a lot of my music.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
Where's the party? Where is the party?
I'm going to post it.
We're playing it at a new place called El San Juan,
Okay.
and it's at 5th Avenue and 117th Street, New York City, Harlem. And it's a beautiful party. And Michael Spinks, the boxer, is the host.
Okay.
All right now.
That sounds
All right.
good. That sounds like a good party. Okay.
Yeah. And Flo Anthony, who's a columnist, we're gonna celebrate her birthday too.
Okay.
So we're celebrating her birthday. She's Michael Spinks' girlfriend. And gonna celebrate my birthday.
Okay.
And Tony Jones, and Adam
Folk.
Falk,
And Paul.
Mm-hmm.
and about 5 other people who have played with me.
Duke
who love
Jones.
music.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's going to be a winner, right?
Oh, it's gonna be
That's gonna
great.
be a
We're gonna have some
winner.
fun.
About 300 people come.
Great music and great musicians and a great audience. It's gonna be a ball.
Well, we're going to save, I know you're a producer and a composer and a arranger and a drummer. You've done so many things, played so many sessions, and you have a lot, 35 albums. But I'm not going to go into it because I'm going to save it for your interview.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm coming back.
You're coming back,
Oh, yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go over here and let's talk to our guest for 45 minutes, Tone.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm
And I'm
here.
going to
Yeah.
start off with saying, was music your first choice in your career?
Well, music has always been a part of me. Because
Okay.
as far as I can remember, when I was a little child, I used to always listen to a lot of the music that my elders, my mother and my grandmothers and aunts used to have parties. And I was a little kid, and I used to dance like James Brown. So I used to spin around and do the, splits and all that for money. So that was my first, yeah. They used to give me quarters. So I said, oh, I'm getting money for this. Let me do this. So that was my first experience with, performing with music. And then after that, when I was 5 years old, I played pukungas. Really, it was bongos, and it was like 12 of us. And I was the youngest guy, of course. And we used to get together every year in the summertime and play on the corner. And everybody had a different size drum and a different type drum, and we just made beautiful music, percussion music. It was like being in Africa, so it was fantastic. So then when I went to kindergarten at the age of 5, I started taking music. They had a music class there, all through all through my elementary school, junior high school, and high school. I played the clarinet, keyboards, organ, all kinds of instruments. And eventually I found the bass at 12 years old.
And when you found
That was
the
after
bass,
guitar.
When you found the bass, that was home.
Yeah.
That was home.
Yeah. I heard it one time. I heard a guy playing it, and I said, wow, that's what I want to play. So, yeah.
But weren't you in sports at one point?
Yeah, I was an athlete all the time, all that during that time. And I got a lot of trophies and stuff and medals. But I thought about it when I was in junior high school. I said, I want to make music my career because it's a longevity.
Okay.
And, a lot of athletes retire very early. They get hurt, stuff like that. So, I just wanted to be a musician. Looking at people like Satchmo, and Ron Carter and some of the greats that were out at that time, Herbie Hancock and, those type of people. I said, I want to be like that.
Okay. Well, how
And
did
then
you,
I met Norman.
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask
Yeah.
you, how did you meet Mr. Connors?
Actually, a friend of mine, Nick Lewis,
Okay.
he brought a picture of Norman over to my house. And said, you ever heard of this guy? I said, no, I never heard of him. And Norman had all these drums and had the timpanis and the gong and all that. I was like, wow, look at this guy. I said, this guy must be really great. He said, well, he's playing in Philly tonight. You want to go see him? I said, yeah, let's go see him. So I went to see him, and I think D.D. Bridgewater was with him at the time. And yeah, and he had a trumpet player and a saxophone player and upright bass and percussionist and keyboard player, and it was just a fantastic show. It blew my mind, So I never thought I was going to play with him. Because I think I was about 12, no, I was about 15. I was about 15 then. And 14, 15. And then a friend of mine, Greg Hill, was playing with Norman. It's a guitarist named Greg Hill from Philadelphia.
Okay.
And he said, look, Norman's going to be looking for a new bass player because his bass player is going to leave. And that was the great T.M. Stevens at the time. So he came to Bijou, and I heard the band. I said, wow, this is fantastic. And then me and T.M. became very good friends, and he was vegetarian, so he didn't know where to go at. So I took him all around Philly to the vegetarian places. We hung out, and we became very, very close. And so he told me he was getting ready to leave, so I said, okay. So me and Greg went up to a rehearsal that Norman had up in New York, and I played. Norman said, you okay, you got the gig.
And you guys have been together ever since?
Well, we've been friends ever since. I worked with Norman for about 20-something years. And then I went away and started doing other stuff, other people.
Because you toured, you traveled worldwide.
Yeah.
Where were some of the places that you went to?
Oh boy, all over. It depends.
You were in Japan?
Depends on who I was playing with at the time. Everywhere. I mean, Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, China, Japan, New Zealand, Australia. All over the place.
Turkey.
All over.
Turkey,
Yeah.
that's where he did
Yeah, all over Europe and Germany and France and everywhere but Russia. I didn't go to Russia.
And you stayed abroad a long time, right? It was a couple
Well, while I
years.
was in Turkey, after I played with a lot of people for a long time, then I got a gig up in Turkey, in Istanbul, Turkey, and it was a 17th century castle. A guy named Mehmet Ali. I just found out he died. It blew me away. About 3 years ago. But I worked at his club for about 6 years, and then about 4 years. And then I left his club and I started working with the musicians from Turkey that I've been playing with.
Okay.
And I stayed there for 6 years and worked. So about 10 years, you know, basically 4 years on and off, and 6 years I stayed there. You know, and I come home for the holidays and stuff like that.
Well, what were some of your favorite venues at that time?
Oh, at that time, well, that was a beautiful venue. It was right on the Bosphorus. And I met Bill Clinton there. He came to our performance. I met Mick Jagger.
Okay.
A lot of famous people stayed there, you know, at the hotel. It was one of the hotels where the Sheikhs used to stay at, you know. So one room was like $2,400 or something like that. It was really ridiculous, but it was a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And it was called it
Was that by the hour?
was actually a 17th century. It was a 17th century palace.
Yeah.
It was a 17th century palace, but it was also half of it was like maybe a quarter of a mile. So half of it was the old ancient way, and the other half was modern. So it was a beautiful hotel. It was fantastic. It was one of the best ones I've ever been to. But I would say one of my best places I played at was Carnegie Hall with Nina Simone. I really loved that.
You really like that?
Yeah, and then we played when
What
she
was-
died. When she
what-
died,
what-
we played there again.
What was so special about that one?
I think it was just because so many famous people played there. I mean, all the people that I ever looked up to and ever thought about, and you know, that inspired me, had played on that stage. I think that's what really did it for me. You know, it was a good. The sound was cool, but it's that, you know, that environment, that ambience, and that, you know, the place. You know, it had an aura about it.
Well, how did you get the name? Did Norman name you TNT?
No, I got that from Sister Sledge.
Sister Sledge.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me
I
about
was-
that name.
Okay,
What does it
I was
mean?
with them. Dynamite. It means dynamite.
Okay.
At first, I thought it was silly because it sounded like a boxer or something, you know. So Tony T&T Jones, what is that? But when I came home and I looked up on the internet under Tony Jones, Philadelphia bass players, there was about 5 guys popped up. I said, oh my God, 5 guys in Philly named Tony Jones, and they all play bass? I said, I got to do something different. So I kept the name TNT. I started using that. Okay, yeah, so that's how that came along. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now when we get to, I had a couple bass players here, or one in particular, and he was telling me about the different styles of playing the bass.
Mhm.
Okay. So, what style are you? What style do you play? Aggressive?
Was that Robert?
Aggressive?
Well, no, I like to play all styles. Everybody plays an instrument, that plays any instrument. They play it from their soul, and they play who they are.
And that's
So-
what makes them different?
Yeah, that's what makes
Okay.
everybody different. So, you know, some people can lay back and have a laid back style and be right in the pocket. You know, some people can slap and be right in the pocket. You know, like if you look two great musicians, bass players, for instance, Anthony Jackson, Marcus Miller, 2 totally different styles,
Yes.
but they're both great.
Mm.
Victor Wooten, Stanley Clark.
Victor Wooten.
Stanley Clark, yeah.
You know, all these guys are great, but they're all different. So I wanted to be different. So I always worked on being different. Anyway,
Okay.
my whole style is different than anybody's. I haven't seen anybody play like me. One guy, Sam Jones. He's
Sam
from Philly. Sammy Jones. Sammy Jones. I heard last time I heard him with Barbara Walker, who I used to work with back in the day. He sounds a lot like me. I was like, "So Sam, listening to me? What's going?" But no, really, because I always try to play my own style. You know, and I never really listen. Like I listened to other people, and I would pick up things from people, but always my way. Always did it my way.
Okay. Well, tell me about the Sister Sledge. You were working with them.
Yeah, I worked with them
With a
from
musical
1985 to 1997, 12 years.
12 years.
I got the T-shirts to prove it.
And you were the bassist for them, and then you became...
I was the bassist for about 5 years, and then after Kathy Sledge left, then I became the music director, and I was with them for the rest of the time, to about, like I said, 85 to 97.
That was a long time.
Yeah. But at that time, I was
good.
playing with Norman. I still was playing with
You played
Norman.
with Norman.
I was still playing with. I was playing with Nina Simone at around that time. So I was doing like 3 or 4, and Gene Carnes. So I was doing like 3 or 4 gigs, and fortunately, all the gigs was falling in place. When one gig was finished, I get a call for the next the next artist. So it kind of worked out. It was cool. You know, it's a blessing to be able
Now,
to work like that.
did you and Norman, did you collaborate on songwriting on some tunes? Have you ever done that?
Not yet, but I'm quite sure we're going to
Not
do
yet?
some. We're going to do some collaborations.
Yeah. We can already do that now.
You can
Yeah.
already do it
Although
now.
we did some of it, because
When it come to like when we did,
when he did his album, and I was there,
Mhm.
I was,
yeah,
I was around him a lot.
yeah, they gave me some ideas and
And,
stuff
you know.
for sure. And they gave me a song. It was a beautiful song. Just called Just Like This.
Just like
Beautiful
this.
song, yeah. Beautiful song.
So, did you record? I think you told me you recorded a CD or a single in Turkey.
I did a whole CD in Turkey called Istanbul Party.
Has it ever been released?
Not here, not yet. No.
Not here.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Are you planning to release that?
Yes, I'm planning on releasing. I'm gonna have 5 CDs out by the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then basically all different too. I'm kind of music. When you ask me what type of music do I like to play, or what genre of music I'm in, all of it.
You play like
Because
what
I
do you
play with
think,
so many
funk?
different groups. I play with like
Let's
Paquito de
name some of
Rivera.
those. Yeah.
Paquito de Rivera. He's one of the most famous saxophone players from Cuba. Play with him. So I play Cuban music, Latin Cuban, authentic Latin Cuban music, and Sister Sledge, of course, that's like disco funk. You know, Norman Connors was like jazz, and and stuff like that. And then I play with some fusion groups. And then I play with some straight ahead people like Sonny Stitt. Play with John Schofield, Larry Coryell. I mean, you got the list. I can't even think of
And
all the
let's look
people.
at
And then a lot of female
But
singers.
did you have a favorite genre that you like to play?
I like to play fusion. I think
Fusion?
because that's a combination of everything. You can write and you can put a little bit of everything in it. The
Okay.
Latin, the jazz, the reggae. We could put anything in a fusion song.
Well,
composition.
here I see that I'm going to read some of the names off here. Nina Simone, Grover Washington Jr.,
88.
Norman Connors, right? Gene Carn and Michael Henderson.
Yeah, they're like family.
Okay, Angela Bofield, Eartha Kitt.
With Norman, I worked with Angela with Norman. Eartha Kitt, yeah, that's when I was living in Montreal. I stayed there for a year. I was in a house band. That's when I met Dizzy Gillespie and a whole bunch of folks.
Esther Phillips.
Yeah.
And then we talk about Sister Sledge, Sonny Stitt,
I played with him
Okay.
in Montreal.
Eddie Cleanhead Benson,
Yeah, great saxophone player and vocalist.
okay, Buddy Guy,
Blues
Larry.
legend,
Coryell,
Larry Coryell. Yeah.
John Schofield, Big Mama
Thornton. She wrote Hound Dog. I know the Hound Dog. She
You
wrote
mean
that.
that song years and years ago?
She ain't nothing but a hound dog.
That Elvis Presley did?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, she's always announced that she wrote that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
it's
you
a
play-
shame she had to do that.
And she did that. She did, because her version was out before Elvis.
Mhm.
I don't know how they got away with that,
I
but
know.
they
No.
did. Yeah, so, you know.
Oh yeah, you do. You know how to get away with it.
Okay. And then Allie Woodston and Temptations.
Yeah, treat her
Tom
like a lady.
Brown. You did Treat Her Like a Lady?
No, I didn't do it, but that was his song. He wrote that and sang it with the Temptations. He was a great vocalist, Allie Woodson. Very good friend of mine.
Oh, and down here, look, Edwin Starr. One more. What's that song he did? One more.
24 miles to go
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, but his big thing was war. What is it good for?
War. Okay.
I did a 2 tours with him, Martha Reeves, Mary Wilson, and Frida Payne. We did a Motown review, and 2 times we did for like 6. I think it was a 6-week tour or something like that.
And you all got together and did this Motown review.
We did it twice for BBC, and that was in Europe because he lived in Europe.
Now, Beyond a Dream,
Right, that's my first CD.
that was your first?
That's the one that Norman helped me on.
Okay. And that's on your website?
Yes, that's on my website. Well, matter of fact, both of the CDs are on my website, but the Istanbul Party hasn't been properly released yet. So I'm going to release that, and I'm going to release all my stuff again.
Okay.
And it's going to be right now. CD Beyond the Dream is on CD Baby.
CD Baby?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is really
And I'd like to mention.
this is,
Thank you. Well, that's only
This
a
is
few, and that's only a few. It's a lot
it's
more.
probably many
I just
more.
can't. I couldn't put it all on on one page. Like 2 or 3 pages. But God has blessed me because I've been playing for about 45 years. So.
Well, have you ever suffered from anxiety, performing anxiety? Because with all
No, but
this here,
I don't think so
how did
because
you
I loved it.
control
I loved it too much. I loved what I was doing too much. So no,
It never became overwhelming?
never. No.
How about with you, Norman? It never became overwhelming?
Uh, one thing became overwhelming. I played with John Coltrane when I was 16 years old,
Hmm.
and that's where I met Pharoah Sanders
Okay.
and McCoy. Why I met McCoy Tyner, he used to play rehearsals with Lee Morgan and Spanky the Brass and Lex Humphreys in my projects. And I was like 6, 7 years old. And I used to go to the rehearsals every day because they used to rehearse across the street from me. And the people from Pepsi had called me, Elvin Jones, that went to jail, and they said they need a drummer, and they knew this drummer, young guy who comes to all our matinees and sit in with different people, Cannonball and Rat Sam Rolling Car. I used to sit in with all these different people when I was real young. And they called me for the John Coltrane gig, and I lasted 3 days.
Okay.
And so I was overwhelmed because the first song was so strong and it was so intense that it overwhelmed me.
Yeah.
But I hung in there. I thought I was finished. I thought they was gonna fire me, but they told me I'm good. So I came back the next day and the next day, and then once I moved to New York, because I knew everybody anyway, I'd met a lot of people. Pharoah Sanders called me, and I went on the road with him, and that's when the record companies came at me.
So, you know, I can imagine that is that could be something else, but you know, sometimes it will get overwhelming. Like when you were on tour, and what was the day like?
Oh,
You were
well,
just going from city to city, packing up on
right.
the bus.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, playing one place.
Yeah.
Gig finish at 1 or 2, and then you up your eating and
Yeah.
hanging out and with the band and everything. Then you got to get up at 5, 6 in the morning, catch the flight to the next gig. That was tough, but it was just part of it. It's just part of the job. I was enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got sick one time with Sister Sledge though. I ate something. It was in the Singapore or the Philippines, one of those places. I think it was Singapore, and I went outside. We was in a nice hotel. Went outside because I seen a vendors outside, and I got some of that hot stuff that they serve on the the vendors
Yeah.
cooking outside like they do here with the
Yeah.
trucks. But this was like a cart or something, and it was like 120 degrees outside, and this spicy stuff was hot and spicy, and I'm eating it and I'm sweating like crazy because it looked like soul food to me. You know what I'm saying? And I went back in the hotel, and the air conditioner hit me. Bam! I got sick, so I had to finish the tour like that. It was rough. I had my back went out, everything. With a cold in my back. But that was the only time I can really remember I didn't have a good time when I got sick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, like sometimes when you're on the road, I can imagine that you grab something to eat it, and you may have to eat it fast or whatever, you know, and it will make you sick because
Right.
you're not eating like you do. Like, you know, it's like a different thing
Yeah.
when you're on the road. So I can imagine.
And we had to take 5 shots. We had to get 5 needles before we went over there. So,
So that was you sick when you left. You were sick when you had to do all that.
yeah.
Okay, so now you are a songwriter.
Hmm.
Okay, you are a composer and arranger.
Yeah.
Okay, you do all of that because
I do
Gilbert-
now. Now, you know, you get better as you go along.
Yeah.
I've been writing music since I was 12. So.
Yeah, but you do that now. Because
Yeah, I
I've
do it
heard, one song in particular is "Wisdom Stick." Is that the name of it?
Yes, and
And-
that's also the name of a fusion band that I play with.
That was excellent,
Thank you.
and we played that on our radio station, Philly Live Radio.
Okay.
Was it about 2 weeks ago, Gilbert? Yeah, it was really good. And before we played it on the radio, we were listening to it here. Okay, and Gilbert was really, who is this? Who is this? Who is this? You know, and he was just jamming with it. He said, "I gotta play
Yeah,
this.
some
I gotta
great guys,
play it."
man. I always like to mention
Yeah.
their names. Tony Giles on piano,
Okay.
Sultan Akbar on drums, Spike Horn on synthesizer, and myself on bass. That was it. But I had some special guests. I had Wally Ali singing lead. I had also singing lead was Deborah Powell, from she's up in New York. She's a great vocalist. And also I had a great vocalist named Al Chestnut from the Chestnut Brothers.
Oh yeah, I think we met him.
Yeah, you should get him here.
I
He's
think we met
fantastic.
Yeah,
him
we met him out of
a
Ardmore.
couple years
Yeah,
ago,
you should
right?
definitely get Al here.
Mhm.
Boy, his history is amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, I think we
a
met
lot of
him.
history. Yeah,
So-
him and his brother, Al and Tyrone Chestnut.
Mhm.
When you guys write songs, I mean the creative process, do you put a foundation down first, and then like you get the lead to come in and the keyboard? How does that
The way that-
process work?
Well, the way that I write, I usually write on guitar or piano,
Okay.
even though I'm a bass player. You know, I come up with the bass lines usually later because I'm thinking harmony. I'm thinking chords and harmony first. So I either do it on the piano or I do it on the guitar. So idea will come to me, and then I would sit down and play the idea, and then I would build off of the idea. You know, you have one section that
Okay, so you
you
just-
originally it came up with, and then you put a bridge to it. You put interludes, and and then you start arranging the song. You know, and that's the first thing. I usually do the music first,
Okay.
and then lyrics come later,
Okay.
and then all the other stuff comes later as well.
So that's the foundation. You start off with the guitar or either the
The
keyboard, and you build a foundation, and then
You build a song.
you
yeah.
fill the song. You
You
build,
build the song. You can do the whole composition
Okay.
on piano or guitar. That's the way I usually do it.
Uh-huh.
And then I either write the lyrics myself and melody myself, or I get somebody that does that. That's a writer, good writer, and we share. You know.
And then you bring
write
all
it
the other
together.
instruments in.
And then I hear everything. So
Okay.
because I played as I said, I played clarinet through all my school years for 12 years. So. So I played in the
That's a
orchestra
great
pit.
gift.
I played in the orchestra pit, so I heard all the strings and the flutes and I heard all that. The French horns, I heard all
A
that.
gift.
Yeah,
That's- it's a
well,
gift.
because I was playing with those in those type of situations coming up, so I could hear where everything went in the song. When I create a song, I already hear what goes where.
May I ask you your process? When you're putting a song together, how do you do it?
Well, a couple different ways.
Tony,
Always have great
slide over there.
melodies.
Okay. Melodies. Okay.
More as close as you
So
can.
I'm in these melodies I hear all the time, and then I go and I'm a drummer. I put the rhythm to it, and bass line, and then it comes together. That's instrumental stuff. The vocals, lyrics. I'm slow at lyrics. A lot of times I go get other people to write lyrics to help me write them. But beautiful melodies come to me all the time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's I keep saying it. That's all those. God gives us all kinds of gifts.
Mhm.
And we share the gifts with others, and others share their gifts with
I had a
us.
keyboard player that was with me. I used to call him for everything, and he was with me for 35 years, Jock.
Mm-hmm.
And he would orchestrate. I would hum my ideas to him, and he would orchestrate. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
so
genius.
we got a lot done like that. And at one time, when I was playing more jazz than influence with R&B,
Mhm.
I was writing a lot then. And I slowed down. And then when I started putting a lot into these singers, I had all these great singers.
Mhm.
I kind of like backed away
Okay.
from vocals. I used to sing myself,
Okay.
younger, and I always wanted to be a Delphonic. A lot of people don't know that, but I used to love the Delphonics,
Okay.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
great.
wanted to be a Delphonic. And but the John Coltrane and Miles, and being in New York with Miles and John Coltrane, I got away from
Yeah.
all of that. So I said, when I started recording, when I got my record deal, I said, I'm going to include some Delphonic songs and
Okay.
stylistic
Okay.
songs,
Mhm.
and that's what I did.
Yeah.
Because I was so into that. And there was one singer who was my idol, right? And we had similar voices, his name was Bunny Sigler.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Bunny.
And Bunny was a great singer. I don't know why Gamble and them didn't really push him out there.
Yeah.
But Bunny was a great singer.
He was a writer for them. He wrote.
He did
I
a
mean,
lot
they
of
used to
writing.
utilize him with his writing, and and all that kind of stuff. He wrote for Batty the Bell. He wrote for a lot of the Philly International crew. But he was my idol at one time.
Oh, funny. Yeah.
And then what became my idol was people like Nat King Cole and
Yeah.
Johnny Mathis, and Peebo Bryson, and Donny Hathaway, and Marvin Gaye.
Oh, Marvin
That
Gaye.
just did it for me. Then when Luther came out,
That was it.
Oh,
It was-
Yeah, Lord. Mm-hmm.
Let me say hi to some of our Facebook fans here to join in, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Douglas Lyons, hi. Hi, Doug. And he says, Tony, what's up, young man?
All right now. Hey, Dougie. How you doing, brother?
And
Peace and love.
Jessica Lorraine Stanley, hi, guys. Oh, that sounds funky. Oh, my. I guess she's talking when you were playing, right?
you.
Douglas says, I should have brought a piano in with you. We have a piano. If he wants to play it, he can play it.
That's right,
And
Dougie.
then,
How you doing, babe?
He said, what's up, Norman? Douglas said, what's up, Norman?
what Dougie is this?
Doug Lyons.
Doug used to play with Billy Paul.
Yeah.
Billy's music director at one point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
And Robert Gilmore joined.
Hey, Rob.
Okay.
Poncho. What's up?
And Jessica Lorraine Stanley said, happy birthday, Norman.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Johnny Kroon.
Johnny.
joined. Yeah.
What's
know
up,
him.
brother?
Yeah, he was here last week. He did an excellent interview.
Yeah,
He
Johnny.
was here this week.
Mm-hmm.
He played with me before.
Blanche Williams. Hi, Blanche.
Oh,
Glad you joined in.
Blanche. Love you, Blanche.
Gil Saunders. Hi, Gil.
Hey, now.
Matt Green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Matt.
Danny McKnight. Okay. Thank you, Danny. Thomas Clark. Hi,
Hey.
Thomas.
Hey, Tom.
Sam Peak. Now, I just talked to Sam
Wow.
Peak a couple hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
And then Carlos Rayleigh.
Hey, Carlos.
And Matt Green says, what's up, Tony?
All right.
Okay.
What's up, babe?
Now, Carlos says, the ultimate musician, my man, the great Tony T.N.T. Jones, come on down to the Top Shelf Lounge sometimes and jam with us. Stacy McGee is waiting on.
Okay. Tell
He tried to
Stace I
start
said hi.
trouble.
Tell Stace I said hi. It's my man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love those hats you and Tony have on. Okay.
Thank you.
And Patricia, thanks Denise for watching. Doug is saying again, it was a highlight of my life with Billy Paul.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, Doug.
Yeah.
When I played, it was great, man.
Um,
Billy was fantastic.
Robert Gilmore says, happy birthday, Norman. Beverly Holloway joined. And Carlos is saying again, see you at the Clef Club gig on June 16th with us playing the Sounds of Philly. Love you, big fella.
All right, babe.
Joseph Smith joined in. Thanks for joining in, Joseph. Beverly Holloway says good evening. Hi, Beverly.
Hey.
Carlos is saying happy birthday, Norman. Okay. Beverly is saying happy birthday, Norman. Charlotte Jackson joined in.
Oh, it's my cousin. Hey, Charlotte.
Oh yeah, because I sent her some information the other day so she can go and show.
Okay.
And Nisi Johnson joined.
Hey, now.
Charlotte Jackson says Pearl Jackson and Pretty Taez.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Tinez, pretty
Tinez.
Tinez. Hey, y'all.
Okay,
My cousin, my family.
Lanique Spud Jones. I
That's
guess
my
is-
daughter. Hey,
Okay.
baby. Love you.
Sandy Sykes joined in. Eamon Jackson. Sandy says, I'm here. Norman Connors, my starship.
Yeah.
I knew she would love that. And Douglas said, you are a true legend. I was honored to jam with you. Sandy said, Tracy's here too. Hi, Tracy.
Hey, Trace.
Nisi Johnson said, hello, everybody. Douglas says, Tony, you're an inspiration. Hope you know that.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Shelton Newton joined in. Douglas said, I was a kid listening to my dad and you guys sing. Yeah. Allie Hackett joined in. Douglas said, Bunny was an amazing singer. And Charlotte said, hello, cousin. You're one of the best players out there. I
Thank
want
you,
to
David.
thank you all. Thank you so much for joining in and supporting the Indie Show and supporting Tony Jones tonight and Norman Connors. Just thank you very much. We want to keep our music alive.
Yeah. I'd like to give a little shout out if I
Go
can.
ahead.
I'd like to give a shout out to Deborah Powell, who is a very good friend of mine, very excellent friend of mine, and great vocalist.
Okay.
And her new singles, she got a lot of singles, and she got a new one
Alright.
coming out.
Now who's she again?
Deborah Powell.
Okay.
Yes, she's an artist.
Okay.
And I'd like to say also hello to Sharon Ritchie, who sings with Dee Dee Sharp
Okay.
and Sharon, and you should probably have her here as well.
Okay.
She's got a beautiful single out on YouTube. It's got a nice video, you know. Let me see, who else do I want to shout out to? I told him I would say hello. My man is, he called himself L.A. He just called me this morning. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I hope he's watching. But brother L.A., how you doing, man? All right, he's getting ready to go over to Turkey. I met him in Turkey, but he lives over in Jersey. And to all the fans and all the lovely people, all the great musicians in Philly, you know, keep doing what you're doing. My brother Rick Tate, love you. Robert Landon, all the cats, you know.
Tony, look at that camera.
Yeah.
Oh, that camera. Love you guys. Okay. I'm over here looking at the computer. It's okay. It's all
But
right.
Tony, how do you keep your fan base going? How do you stay in contact with your? Don't say you don't have fans.
Well,
How do you stay in contact with them?
I know I have fans, but I really don't write to fans and go on Facebook and that type of thing. I just play music, and people love what I do. Some people do, and just have a good time. They have a good time. I have a good time. I love to play with other people. So, you know, so no matter how big, if I do get really big one day, because I'm putting all these CDs out.
Yes.
And I got some slamming people on these CDs.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
Justin Faulkner, Jim
Yes,
Holton.
yes.
I mean, I got some monsters on these CDs, you know. So I'd like also to say hello, shout out to Legioness, who I just did a duet with her.
Okay.
I'm guitar and vocal, you know, and I got a jazz record coming out as well with, like I said, with Justin Faulkner, Jim Holton, and V. Shane Frederick. So it's some great music
This is
that's
some
coming.
nice
I'm
stuff.
excited about what's
What
coming.
your direction is.
Yeah, what's coming now? You know, what's happening now? I'm very excited. And then after having a heart transplant 7 years ago, where they told me I would never play again. So just being here and talking to you and being able to talk about music and having records coming out and stuff and writing is just a blessing from God. So you know, I'm just glad to be here.
Ain't
You know,
that good?
Yeah, God is great
'cause I
all the
was,
time.
I was looking for trying to put Fat Larry's band together, and I was looking for like the specific instruments, and I was over Shoe Baby's house, and he has this book, this binder with all you guys in it, musicians directory.
Yeah, I remember he was getting that. Yeah, he was putting that together. I remember he was putting it together.
Yeah.
He's got everybody.
He has everybody in it. So we were looking, and he was pointing out the guys who would travel, and the different instruments they would play. And I called you. That's when I called you
Okay.
to see if you would be interested, because we were trying to get this gig over in Europe. Okay, and he was saying he's your man. He would go and he would play, and he's excellent. And I'm so
Thanks,
glad
Lyra.
that I had opportunity to meet you, because
really likewise, dear.
and the thing about it is that I seem as if I'm one of the last people to know you, because everybody I mention your name to, they say, Tony J. Yeah, we know Tony.
I've been around forever.
I say,
I've been around forever. Even young people know me. The young musicians know me.
yeah.
Because I was teaching at the Clef Club, Philadelphia Clef Club of Jazz. I'm thinking about going back there, pretty soon. Because I got a couple of students that they want to go back there. So I think I might start teaching here again,
I think
part
that's a
time.
great-
Part
I think
time.
that's a great
Because
idea.
teaching is not really what I want to do. I want to play
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
and write music and create. That's what I really want to do. So, But
Well,
I have two young grandsons.
And a daughter sings,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, my daughter Latrice. Oh my God.
Yeah, let's talk about her for a minute.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, she when she was 19, she did a single, she did a CD, her own CD. She had management and everything. She was very professional, When she was 19, I took her on the road. First time she ever flew. I took her to Turkey. We did Turkey for Istanbul, Turkey for 1 month. Then from there we went to Bahrain, And Webb Thomas was in the band at the time. I called Webb for the gig, and I called John Hopkins, keyboard player from Philly, excellent keyboard player. So we went over there and we did our thing, and she hit it hard. She did a great job. I was really shocked.
Oh, yeah.
First time ever out on the road and ever flew a plane, ever out of the country, anything, you know. So I was so proud to introduce her to that. And ever since then, she's been singing ever since then. And she's just been doing a remarkable job. All my musician friends that grew up with me said, "I play with your daughter, man. She's bad." So I'm appreciating the compliments, you know.
Yes.
And when she was 6 years old, I heard her singing. Whitney Houston came out with the first album, and I was taking her to school. She was 6 years old, and she was singing note for note Whitney Houston at 6. I mean, like with a mature sound.
Oh, wow.
So as soon as she came home from school, I took her to the studio, right down to my studio, and I recorded her, man. So I got recordings of her. She was 6, and then she used to watch. She grew up listening to Shirley Lights, Barbara Walker, Denise King. They used to all come to my house and do demos for me.
Okay.
And she was like 6, 7 years old. So she grew up listening to all these great singers.
Oof.
So it's been amazing. It's been an amazing adventure. So she's just a pioneer now. She's just been all over the world and traveling. And she works with Alba Rock, who's another excellent singer from Philadelphia. And they got a band. He has a band. She works with his wedding band.
Oh,
And she's been with them about, I think, 15 years or something like that.
That's great.
You know, so I'm very, it's very accomplished. And my other daughter, Lanique, I'm just so proud of her because she was a dancer. When she was 12 years old, I put both of them in dance school just to keep them busy, occupied when they were young. Because I was on the road sometime, and I would make sure they were doing something to do. So they, both of them went to all up until from like elementary school all the way to they graduated high school. I had them both in there, and they're about 6 years apart. Okay. And Lanique, when she was 12, they chose her to go to Russia to represent America.
Really?
At 12 years old, dancing. She was on the news and everything.
Oh my! Isn't
So I'm
that
like,
great?
she's bigger than me. So that was really great. I'm very proud of
Is
both
she
of my.
still dancing?
No, but she teaches sometimes.
She teaches?
But she works for Wells Fargo.
Okay. Isn't that
yeah.
great? That's really. And you have grandchildren that's in the music
Two boys, yeah. And I'm teaching them guitar and piano now.
That's really good.
So I'm gonna start them at the Clef Club soon.
That's really, really good. Well, we want to be able to pass our music down.
Yes.
Yeah. And keep our kids into music or get them into music so we can keep them into music,
Right.
get them started in music because we have to let the music flow, okay? And the only way to do that is to start them young.
Right.
We start them young and for those of you, like you had contacts to help get your kids in there. And some of you have contacts and some of you don't, parents. But you should always try to get them into music because that improves math skills,
Right.
that improves comprehension skills. That does wonders, for a child to get into
Sure.
music, whether it's playing an instrument, whether it's vocally singing or one of those things. That's good.
And it gives them culture too. It gives them some nice
that's
culture.
right.
You know.
It gives them culture.
Yeah. And
Their own culture.
Yeah, exactly.
In some cases.
Yeah.
Okay, now we want to go into, is there, I guess, a hidden meaning in your music?
A hidden meaning. I think I love to write love songs.
Okay.
So I'm a romantic.
Okay.
I'm a romantic. It's kind of corny, but
No.
but
Love
I had to
songs,
get
love forever.
but I had to get away from that because I found myself in a rut of just writing about love, and situations, So working with different people inspired me to write about different topics and subjects.
Okay.
Like Nina Simone, I wrote 2 songs for her, and she was going to record them, but she got sick and died. She went to the hospital and died. But I'm gonna try to
very
get her daughter to
political,
do them.
Okay.
But I'm gonna have Suzanne Burgess sing one of the songs, and looking at Starlene, a singer named Starlene that Norman produced a record on recently,
Okay.
and she wants to do some more songs. So she came over to my house for a listening session, and she liked Nina Simone songs too. So see what happens. I'm gonna try to get Lisa, Nina's daughter, to do it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm also going to be a part of tribute to Nina.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, I believe it's in April. I have to look at my calendar, but it's given by the city.
Okay.
Okay, and they have it somewhere up in Germantown, so it should be really nice.
Well, for those artists or the younger generation who's trying to get into music, from you both, what information will you give them, you know, to lead them and direct them in the right way so that they can begin their musical journey?
Study,
Study.
take it seriously. If you want to do something, be serious about it.
Mm-hmm.
But make it fun. Make it fun. Don't make it, hard on you to do. Because if you make it like that, then you won't do it. That'll be a deterrent.
Mm-hmm.
So I think try to find your niche. Because sometimes when you start playing music, you don't know what instrument you want to really play.
Mm-hmm.
All you know is you like music. So you go through all these instruments, right, man?
Yeah,
You go through all these instruments. And play. Yeah, I was playing xylophone, all kinds of stuff. Ving, ving, ving. I tried everything, So, but
But
you
is that-
find your niche eventually.
but they
One
should
day
do
you
that,
sit
right?
down and you say, "Oh, this is it."
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
It's,
Like
yeah.
my 17-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
He went through 5 instruments, and now he's playing trumpet.
Okay.
Yeah.
He started on drums,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went to piano,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went to the alto saxophone.
Okay.
No, then he went to bass, upright bass,
Mm.
because he heard Stanley Clark in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to alto saxophone, he heard Gary Bartz. And now he's playing trumpet, because he heard me talking about Miles Davis all the time. So he's been playing trumpet now for 4 years. First chair trumpet.
And he may.
First
I was telling Norman.
Well, first chair's a copy.
Yeah, that is high, isn't it? But I was telling Norman he'll probably be a multi-musician when he played different instruments, because if he can learn different instruments that quick,
Yeah.
then he can hear all the instruments.
Yeah.
So and
Most
he's going to
of
go
the-
to
most
school
of the
for it.
schools
So
they don't teach it.
Yeah.
though.
This is last year high school, so he's moving to New York.
Right.
He's in Houston, Texas now.
Right.
He's moving to New York in September. And he called me up and says, "Dad, you're going to be real happy I decided to do music." Because
Okay.
he's been getting a lot of awards in art too.
Mhm.
Animation and art and all that.
Right.
So I told him he could pursue everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
Which school was he going to? The reason why I asked is because most public schools, unfortunately, don't have in their budget monies for the arts, music, and that sort of thing. So,
Right, right.
so that's why we got all these youngsters running around creating nothing but beats.
Right.
'Cause,
Yeah.
you know,
I think eventually he's going to go to either the New School or Manhattan School of Music.
okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
I went to Juilliard, so
How glad did you win?
I don't know if he's going to,
You went to Juilliard.
yeah.
Excellent.
So I don't know if he, I mean, unless he gets a scholarship, I can't, Juilliard costs just almost the same kind of money as Harvard.
Well, before you went to Juilliard, what school did you go to that,
I went to Temple for 1 year,
okay,
Okay.
and I was playing football. I played football,
okay,
and then I moved to New York to get away from a lot of people, because I was hanging with a crowd in Rittenhouse Square. I call them my boys, and my boys was doing all kinds of different things,
understand?
and I had to really concentrate.
Yeah.
As much as I love them, and I love them, but I couldn't stay around that element. So I moved to New York.
Were you playing, what I'm getting at is, were you taught in school in your early years, junior high, high school, music?
No, I was playing professional. I was playing with Billy Paul when I was 15. I was playing with some real heavy people, so I didn't play in school because
Uh-huh.
I felt they wasn't heavy enough for me.
Yeah. They were.
You was playing with the real folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing with some real heavy people, Sonny Fortune, Alfie, and I was playing with those kind of people. So before I moved to New York, I had a lot of experience.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
No school
And
is
they
it?
were having.
That
Yeah.
prepared.
Yeah.
That prepared him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That preparation for New York.
So I was playing. I used to whip by the telephone for the telephone to ring. Like when I was 13 and 14 years old, I'd be waiting for the phone to ring every weekend. I didn't work every weekend, but certain weekends, And the telephone would ring, and I'd go and do the gig, get my drums, and get take a cab and go to the gig and set up. I used to get the gigs an hour before everybody else come, and I would set up and just sit there and think about
How you
what
gonna
I
do
could
this?
do. How did I get to these people? So I did that for years. And even when I went to New York, I used to go to the Village Vanguard and sit there, and Miles be playing, or Art Blakey, or Jazz Messengers, or Train, and I'd be just, I don't say nothing to nobody. I just sit there for like 3 or 4 hours and just concentrate on them.
Wow.
And try to see myself
Yeah.
with all of that. You know, and then I finally got a chance to do my own thing.
Tony, that's a bad
And,
man. That's a bad man.
So here I am.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think both of them, you know, they had, and I said had, but they still have terrific careers.
Yeah.
You know,
They're still on their journey.
and you've met a lot of people, you've done a lot of things, you got a lot of gifts, and you're keeping our music alive. You have a CD coming out or out. You have one coming out. You know, you're continuing to travel through your journey, and that's good. And now your children and grandchildren, they're moving towards your journey. I think you've done a good job, and I know it's going to continue. You know,
Yeah.
and I know yours is going to continue. And another thing I want to say is the friendship that you have developed throughout the years shows that it can work. You know, all these many years you've been working together, and that's that's great, because lots of times the friendship is broken. You know, a lot of times it's broken and that person goes their way. But this shows that it can work.
Oh yeah, it depends on the individuals.
Yes,
Sure.
and the goals.
And yes, of
I
course.
think, you know, things come, it's coming back
Passion.
around. A lot of things are coming right back around again. You know, you just have to be patient and hang in there and keep on working, keep on striving, keep on writing, keep on practicing, and keep on performing.
Right,
And
right.
everything will be okay.
And we want people to know all the things that you do. Okay, we want you, you know, you play for so many people and you're still playing. And a lot of those people, you know, they made it as far as that tier 1 to the top. Okay, but they couldn't have made it without good musicians behind them, right? And you were part of that culture, those musicians that got them to where they are today. And we want to keep your name out there and keep you going. And here on the Indie Show, you're always welcome to come back. Anything that we can do to help get the word out about your new CDs or what you're doing, we're here for you. And with Philly Live Radio, we're always here to play your music, new songs, original tunes,
Right.
old songs. We have our top program that's on Tuesday that we play nothing but Philadelphia artists, you know. So use us as a vehicle to help to promote yourselves.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Yeah, I want
Thank you, dear.
to be
Appreciate
able
you.
to say
Thank
that.
you.
Okay. And now, before we end, can you give me something else on the bass?
Okay, it's gonna cost you.
Okay,
Only kidding. Only
okay.
joking.
I have about
A lot of
$1.
musicians say that. A lot of musicians say, "Oh, well, how much is the gig?" That's the first thing they say.
I know that's what they said. And then they'll make the decision
Oh,
where
I'll
they're
just
going.
hold
and
on to it like this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's put a round hand. Let's give him a round hand of applause. Great, great work. Great.
Thank you for having me, dear.
Now,
Appreciate
and
it.
thank you for coming out. Now, where can we purchase your CD?
You can purchase my CD on my website, TonyTNTJones.com, or on you can also purchase it on CD Baby,
Okay.
Tony
Okay.
TNT Jones.
And how if someone out there wanted to reach you?
You can reach me through my email, TonyTNTmusic@gmail.com.
Okay, say that again.
TonyTNTmusic@gmail.com.
Okay, say it to the camera.
To the camera. Okay. TonyTNTmusic@gmail.com.
Okay. We want to make sure that you got that. Now, I want to thanks the Facebook family and friends for their support. I want to thank the producer, Gilbert Lomax Jr. sitting over there. I wanna give him a
Gilbert.
round of applause. And I want to thank the sponsors, my sponsors. I have Butch Ingram from Society Hill Records, Nina Capone, Ellie Human, and Yasmin McCourt. And I want to thank them for supporting us and sponsoring our program. And next week we have the legendary Sam Peake, who joined in tonight. And Sam plays the sax. And he will be here with us next week. You
All
can
right.
follow me, Doris Hall James, on Facebook. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check me out on Instagram. And check out my webpage, The Indie Show. If you have any comments, if you want to join us one day on the show, just send us an email and we'll make it happen. And until next week, have a good week. Bye-bye.
Peace and
We're
love.
out there.
Peace and happiness.
Bye-bye.
Listen to the artist of